Hey everybody, Incoherence here, and welcome back to our Divide and Conquer campaign. It is episode 17, wherein Éomer is going to destroy Captain Hal Dad, the dadliest of dads. Before we get to that though, we're just going to check what happened as we ended the turn. First and foremost, Gondor has declared war on the clans of Enedwythe, and I would prefer to stay as an ally to Gondor rather than the clans of Enedwythe. So that's an alliance that's already been destroyed. I think we only had it for a few short turns, and I'm not sure. I believe we would still be trading, of course, trade rights, yes, but it seems to me that they understand it seems. Unfortunately, I think we'll have to go to war with them eventually, which is actually just fine with me. I think once we were to take out the Dunlandings, like, I wouldn't know what to do, as my next target is not exactly clear in that case. But now that the clans of Enedwythe are no longer our allies, I suppose we could take them on when the time comes. Unless, of course, we reforge that alliance, reforge it anew. We've built a new mine in Isengard, which is going to reap quite a few hundred coins. However, I'm not sure if that's a new mine or we've just upgraded the mine. Okay, we've just received an additional 320 gold per turn in mining income in the old Isengard. That's great. Isengard, by far one of the better cities in our empire, only behind Edoras and Dunlastir, it seems. And that's just fine. In the financial department, we're still kicking around 1,500 profit per turn, and that is, of course, while we are at war. We have a bunch of units at the moment who are not receiving free upkeep. Most importantly, our entire cavalry force under Éomer. Now, I did build this massive infantry army under Éomer, but I think we would do well to actually just add in a unit of cavalry or two. So I've got a unit of Rohan riders in there, and then I've got a second on the way. And then I assume once we capture these two towns, I can either return the riders to Éomer or replenish his army with new recruits, perhaps. And then we can just leave the riders, perhaps, on the back lines in Dunlastir or whatever, just to receive free upkeep. Although it seems to me that I have not built... Okay, I'm currently building a meeting hall in Dunlastir. And eventually I'll have to build one in Onadrith just to receive that free upkeep. So in Foldberg we've retrained some swordsmen, which I think we ought to move out to this here fort. We'll move the ballista onto Ginnyard, and we're now going to pay for that. That is quite expensive, unfortunately. We've got some new pikemen. Those should be interesting to see on the field. And then we had a few additional units, but I'm not sure where they are actually because I closed the menu, but I'm pretty sure it was Ginnyard, as well as places like, not Bregness, but Foldberg, Dunlastir, and the like. But anyway, I think it is now time to declare war on the dadliest of dads, Hal Dad. His army is not great, let's be honest. It's a bunch of farmhands. It's a bunch of weak, lightly armored units, which we can just tear apart, mostly with our cavalry, I'm pretty sure. We're actually evenly matched, although I think our cavalry is going to count for much more than their shitty infantry. Anyway, guys, I will see you on the battlefield. I want it to go really quickly, but every time I say that, it goes like the opposite. It goes incredibly slow. Was Éomer always a champion? Big fan of Queen, I guess. Alright, guys, I will see you on the battlefield. Muster your courage, men. Okay, the Dunlandings have set up a bit of a shield wall. This is actually a really tightly packed formation. Holy shit. With these big-ass shields. They set up these defensive formations in the woods, which is a bit of a bother for my cavalry. Apparently they know what they're doing. Unfortunately, we're going to be forced to move our infantry up and possibly try to bait some of these enemy units out with Éomer himself and his riders of Rohan. They're going to sneak away into the trees, have a quick picnic. Perhaps run into Yogi Bear. Is that a picnic basket? And then I would assume we'd have to like slit his throat because he's a potential spy. He could give away our position, any number of things. We can shred these pikes, I think, with some arrow fire. Unfortunately, we are receiving missiles from the Dunlandings, so we'll have to... Ooh, shit, run away real quick. We've already received quite a few casualties. Good God. They're firing from the trees here. There they are. Okay, well, perhaps we can get Éomer to suss them out from the forest, and we'll come rushing in on the flanks, either side. We'll get our infantry just to move ever so gingerly forward. Now, Éomer, I think, is... Where the fuck is he at? Oh, God, these trees. Okay, so we're facing down some Dunlanding warriors. I'm not sure where... Okay, so most of their archers are actually in the center of their formation now, so we'll continue onwards over here. My archers are now hidden. I would like it to stay that way. We'll just have to run to reestablish our camouflage. And let's see, we've got archers here, and then these berserkers, which we can probably charge and take out. I don't think they have any other... Okay, they're actually rushing to defend their missile units. We'll flank around with the light cav. We'll get Éomer to charge right in. There we go. Oh God, he's charged into the back of the berserkers. And now the Dunlandings are freaking the fuck out. Their formations are broken. Somehow, we've managed to run directly into their front line. So we'll get the spears to perhaps pull back a bit. We'll get our infantry around the flanks. Oh shit, I've done this backwards. Oops. Okay, well, this should be fine. Okay, well, it looks to me like these pikemen are actually out of position. So let's get the 4th spearmen to pull them forwards. And how are the huntsmen doing? They're just fine. We have charged the berserkers, and it looks to me like they're taking a few casualties. I wonder if we can pick out the archers with our cav. It seems to me we can. We'll get one unit over here, and then another. I'm just trying to map this out in my head here. Forests are just fucking horrid to play in all Total Wars. I guess in Warhammer they allow you to remove the foliage, but it's not nearly enough. Okay, looks like Éomer is actually taking a shit ton of casualties. Good God. Here come the rest of my cavalry, and the farmhand archers are charging right into them. Very bizarre. Apparently those berserkers... pretty deadly, and actually they've countercharged my light cav. Let's get out of there. Looks to me like we need to countercharge a bit. I think my fort spearmen can take on those pikemen for now. Yeah, we've just been shredded actually by the enemy berserkers and infantry. Good God, what's happened here? They've intercepted us as we tried to charge their archers. Where are they now? Farmhand archers. Looks like they're getting cut down by our cavalry, but they're actually running away. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, where'd the huntsman go? Where did the huntsman go? Oh man, I've misplaced the huntsman. Okay, well that's interesting. We'll get into a skirmish mode. We'll get Éomer and his troops to come around the flank. We are definitely cutting down those farmhand archers right now. And let's see, on the infantry front we've got... I think our infantry is not doing so hot. Okay, we'll get Éomer to intervene. Okay, well, there we go. We just found the huntsman. That's a target for Eomer. If we don't charge directly into a into an infantry engagement. There we go. We can take out this unit and then do some rear charges on the infantry that is now charging our spearmen, etc. I don't want my light cavalry to be engaged by anything other than these farmhands, which seems to be the case. We are doing just fine now. Oh god, did we run down? Okay, we broke those huntsmen basically immediately, and let's get back into the fray here. I think we can break these warband and these warriors pretty quickly if we position ourselves. Now, these guys are still fighting those archers. These are my missiles. Okay, they're firing at the berserkers and ruining them. Holy moly. I can just see volley after volley flying into the asses of those poor defenseless Dunland berserkers, and my god, are they ever going berserk. Okay, let's charge into the rear of those pikemen. We'll get Eomer into the rear of the warband. Well, we charged the wrong unit, but that's just fine. Presented a uniform front. Looks like these Dunland warriors are shaken. The farmhand pikes are routed. Okay, Eomer, please cut into these Dunland warriors. There's 90 of them. They're wavering. Can we get the fort spearmen in there? We've got 52 cavalry who are going to chase down those huntsmen. We'll get our missile cav to charge into these warriors as well. I think we've won the battle, essentially. Okay, we killed Captain Hal Dad, and we've won. Okay, they've broken, and we lost only 17% of our army. And now, the absolute classic slaughter can begin. I think I want to chase down these berserkers because they seem pretty dastardly. They received that charge in the rear, you know, much better than I anticipated. Oh god, did I just mute the music? How have I done this? D? Control D? Oh god. Is it Control S? Control A? I don't know how I did it. Okay, well, it should be back now. That's very bizarre. Okay, so we took some casualties in our infantry. That's alright. Let's stop firing for now. That is not what I meant to do. Stop firing. And you stop firing. Everyone. Run down whoever's left. I think we actually got them all. Good god. How very efficient. Okay, you guys, I'm going to run down the remainders here, and I will see you on the the campaign map, where we can wrap up the turn and perhaps take a look at the next. We've just scattered Hal Dad's army to the winds and sacked his army's camp, and now we can stick a bunch of cavalry into these forts to get those sweet savings. We'll get these guys to head to Isengard for now. I think we'll just do 3 in each. Why the hell not? For the time being, at the very least. And then the most of our infantry, I think, can head to Bregness. Why not? Let's actually split the difference here. We were actually going to build an army out here, and I'm not sure. Okay, we'll build an army in Bregness. And I think perhaps Aldwulf can lead that army, supported by Eomer and his wonderful riders of Rohan. Who is cheaper? I believe the forts... No, actually, my militiamen are cheaper. Interesting. We've now got a full roster here. I could have sworn we were recruiting some cavalry. Oh, I see. It's in Foldberg. Okay, you know what? We have time for just one more turn. I nearly stumbled on the word turn again. How embarrassing. When we come back, I think we can form this army in Dunlestir and begin to march out up north, although it is summer, so then it would be fall next turn. Not ideal campaigning season, but I think we'll just be fine. And then we can begin coalescing this army to march on Dunland. And once we capture Dunland, I'm not sure. Here's the thing, Dunland, as far as I'm aware, just kind of spreads north. And I don't want to overextend too much. But anyway, I'm rambling on. Let's end the turn and get that army moving. We've got our riders in Foldberg, and they are ready to march out to join the army of Dunland.
Yes, my lord.
Aelmund is going to lead that army and leave a single unit of militiamen behind. And it seems that we have just an absolute shit ton of gold now. We're making roughly 4,000 again since we've stashed away our cavalry. We could build the stables in Dunland. Alternatively, we could build a meeting hall in Onadrith, which is not bad at all. That will allow us to recruit more units, which will be helpful once we get this town guard. And then we will also get a bit of free upkeep. We can now recruit 2 units in Dunland. And I think we may as well build a stable. We have the cash to float it. As for our capital, we could, of course, build a Lord's Hall, perhaps get some crop rotation, although there's no need for population growth. Although it will increase our income by 70, that will take 1,000,000 years to pay off. Again, with the market as well, 1,000,000 years to pay off. Let's take a look at Isengard, perhaps. Is there anything worthwhile? Building stables, I suppose. Bregness. I think we've built most everything here. We could build this land clearance, actually. That would be very helpful. We'll throw that down. As for Gnerd, it's still a long way away from upgrading. We've got this ballista ready to roll. I sort of wish there was a fort up here which we could use to properly... well, actually, do I want the Fort Spearmen or the Militiamen in this army? We'll get the Fort Spearmen in this army. So we'll send them to Gnerd. I think we are able to actually recruit some more horsemen. We currently have a few units of riders, a few units of horse archers, and I really like the skirmishers. So I would be happy to recruit another skirmisher unit in Foldberg. Perhaps some riders elsewhere. Edoras, I can get 2 units. I don't think I have the capacity to house the units, however. I currently have 2 great units of infantry in the capital. I think we can replace them with any number of militia, essentially. And then we can use these guys on the front lines. Let's just recruit the militia for now. And then we can send out all the infantry to the west. Foldberg itself, we can only get 1 unit of axemen. Gnerd is the place to be. Apparently there's all sorts of troops we can get. Axemen, fort archers, farmhand archers. We could probably just get all of this shit and just go on a rampage in the west. We're still waiting for this town guard in Bregness. 1 more turn until that is built. Looks to me like we are still going to be receiving a bunch of gold.
Yes, my lord.
Our first target, I think, is going to be Roshberg Village, and we'll recruit, I think, some reinforcements in Onadrith to garrison both of these towns, and they can just sort of meet up in the north. Okay, things are really starting to roll in the campaign. I hope you guys are enjoying it, because I certainly am. I really am. So I just wanted to say thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment. I read them all. Always fun to see the comments. It really is. You can check me out on Twitter, Facebook, all of that stuff. As always, you guys, my name is Incoherence. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will see you all later.